special guest, keynote speaker, is Mr. Stephen L. Robinson. Stephen Robinson is a dedicated professional, entrepreneur, and passionate advocate for student success. A native of Willingboro, New Jersey, his journey with Rowan University began in 2001 with the Pre-College Institute, PCI. He went on to earn a degree in biological science from Rowan, later furthering his education with a master's in biomedical science from the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey. Notably, he attended the Carol F.S. Hardy National Black Student Leadership Development Conference 5 times and was recognized as the 2006 Mr. Black Rowan and the 2005 first runner-up for Homecoming. Today, Stephen Robinson is an accomplished cardiovascular perfusionist with over a decade of clinical experience, having trained and worked at premier institutions including Cooper University Hospital, the Hospital of Maryland Medical Center, the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania, Temple University Hospital, and most recently, Virtua Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital. Beyond the operating room, he is the founder of the Father Collection, an apparel brand that celebrates the journey of fatherhood. With a combined social media audience of over 300,000 followers, he leverages his platform to inspire others to pursue their goals with confidence. Above all, he is a proud girl dad of 4. Stephen Robinson is honored to return to Rowan University to share his insights on persistence, purpose, pivoting, performance, and the power of empowering oneself to achieve. Stephen Robinson, you may begin.
I need one favor. It's great. Hey, come back. I need one favor. All right. Just say that last line of introducing me, okay? When he introduces me, act like I'm like the most famous person in the world. Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, Trump, well, not Trump. Like a famous person in the world. Like if I was walking down the street with Obama and Jesus, they would say, oh look, it's Steve Robinson and those other 2 guys, all right? All right, so say that last line. Thanks.
Stephen Robinson is honored to return to Rowan University to share his insights on persistence, purpose, pivoting, performance, and the power of empowering oneself to achieve. Stephen Robinson.
Thank y'all for going along with that.
Oh, I will.
I'm sorry, this is like an entire full circle moment for me right now. So, start off by saying this. Good morning, Rowan. Oh, look at this room. Look at the brilliance, the energy, the raw potential sitting in these seats. Now you have to excuse me as I had to take in everything because I don't take the gravity of this moment lightly. Right? This year marks 25 years since PCI 01 first stepped foot on campus. And when Rowan looked for the ultimate way to celebrate that quarter-century milestone, they brought home one of their own. Because no mistake about it, this is a true homecoming for me. A survivor of the 2001 Mimosa Hall steam room, a product of the very blueprints you are building today, standing right here on this stage. Rowan didn't just find a keynote speaker. They imported a success story. They brought back one of their own to show you exactly what the finish line looks like. So to Rowan, Ascend, Map, Rise, on behalf of PCI 2001, and from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say, you're welcome. But before I say another word, I want to draw your attention to the slide on the screen behind me. And I want you to look at the back walls and the stage of this room.
Y'all see him? You see what he's saying? Come on.
Nice to meet you. So, which envelope were you originally running for?
One, because it was closest to me.
Okay. And which one did you end up with?
One.
Open it. What's your name?
My name is Matt. That'll be the last one.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And which envelope were you going for? Going for two?
Yeah.
And which one did you end up with?
Two.
Okay. Open it. Come on. Oh, count out. Congratulations, that's yours, okay? Come on. What's your name?
My name is Shyla.
Shyla?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Shyla. All right, now, which envelope were you going for? There's a lot of a commotion over there. Which one did you end up with?
Three.
Okay. Open it.
There's nothing in here.
There was nothing in there. But so we're going to come back to that later, okay? So all y'all, everybody good up for the top three? Welcome to your feet. Keep your envelope in your hand, okay? We're going to come back to it, all right? Now, I want everyone in this room to take a deep breath and think about what just happened. When this slide went up, what did the room do? You hesitated. You looked left. You looked right. You thought, is this a trick? Am I going to get in trouble? And this man is crazy. The envelopes represent your dreams and your goals. This experiment representing going after your dreams and your goals. Your end game. Where you hope to wish, where you hope to end up at the end of your college tenure. But many of you are so busy calculating the risk of looking foolish, so busy trying to predict the outcome, your feet got glued to the floor. The truth is, so many are focused on failing that they don't even try. But look at the ones who moved. They didn't calculate, they accelerated. Because the engine of a rocket ship does not fire without a small spark first. And that spark is the decision to move when everyone else is frozen. There's an old saying, and I want you to take a mental note of this. There are those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what the heck just happened. Right now, two people are sitting here with cash in their pockets because they made it happen. A whole bunch of you were sitting there watching it happen, and the people in the very back row are still wondering what the heck just happened. But notice how that just played out. Where were the people who got the money sitting? Statistically, it is always the people who are sitting in the first third of the room. Why? Because of positioning. These students didn't just win because they were fast. They won because when the opportunity presented itself, they were already sitting closer to the prize. Where you choose to sit this morning isn't just a random seating choice. It is a snapshot of how you are positioning yourself during your time here at Rowan. So let's break down the psychology of this ballroom. The front rows, let's say the first third of the room. The people sitting in the front rows are usually the ones who arrived early. In college and in life, the front row represent a very powerful position. It represents people who built a strong network because it's not what you know, it's who you know. But if you can combine who you know with what you know, you will be a force to be reckoned with.
That's something right there.
The professors know them by name because they treat their office hours like private networking events, because they are. They don't wait until they are drowning to seek help. They have the strongest grades, they're engaged in class, sitting in the front row so they can't sleep or scroll on TikTok without the professor seeing them, and they have an undeniable work ethic. They are the first ones to be considered when an opportunity arises because their reputation and their work speak for themselves. Then we have the middle rows, the middle third. This is the comfort zone. The middle rows are safe. You aren't totally isolated in the back, but you aren't under a microscope in the front either. In life, the middle rows represent a slim network in okay grades. You're doing just enough to get by. You're passing, but you're not thriving. And the ultimate question for the middle row is always, do you want it bad enough? Or are you content with being average? John Maxwell said it best. Average is the top of the bottom, the best of the worst, the bottom of the top, and the worst of the best. Which one of these are you? If an opportunity shows up, you have to run twice as hard as the front rows just to catch up. The middle rows is where dreams go to coast. And then we have the back rows, the spectators. And finally we have the back rows. And let's be real. The back row is where you go when you want to slide in late, slide out early, and stay off the radar. In the game of life, the back row represents trying to do everything completely on your own. It represents slipping grades, slipping focus, and a heavy dose of laziness. When that slide went up on that screen, some of you in the back row looked at the wall, looked at the distance, and thought, I'm not even going to try because I'm too far away anyway. You defeated yourself before you even stood up. That is the tragedy of the back row. You see the opportunity, but because you positioned yourself so far away from success, you convince yourself that the game is rigged and it's not even worth the effort. But no matter where you sit, the front, middle, back, listen to me carefully. There is a dangerous trap that anyone can fall in, no matter where you sit, and that is called entitlement. Your entitled mind is dead weight. Don't focus on what you think you deserve. Take aim on what you are willing to earn. This is not a new concept. Students walk in, sitting wherever they like, and thinking the world owes them an A. Let me give you a reality check. Just because you've imagined a possibility for yourself doesn't mean that somehow you deserve it. Having a dream is cheap. Imagine yourself walking across the stage in a cap and gown. Doesn't mean that Rowan owes you a degree. You have to earn every single credit hour, even if you sit in the front row. If you assume you got it made without keeping your hunger, keeping that drive, you will get complacent. You'll hesitate, and someone from behind you will sprint right past you. A prime example of positioning going good and a position going bad may look like this. Take the summer internship, for example. Programs like these are available everywhere, but they're not available to your sophomore, junior, or non-graduating senior year. But you can't apply unless you have a GPA, and in some cases, the letters of recommendation. So starting right now, position yourself accordingly. So when it comes time to apply, you will have less to worry about. And a lot of these programs will house you, feed you, teach you, and pay you to be there. And they're great resume builders. How do I know these things are legit? In 2005, I was in one. And what did they do? They housed me. They gave me a food stipend every day to all places Denny's. Free MCAT prep, sat in on class with medical school students, went on field trips. They guided us, they mentored us. We shadowed doctors in hospitals and in their private office settings. And they gave us an option, just one to get paid for the program or use that program for college credits. But it's not just science programs. I found a document online with 16 pages of summer internships. Wait, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's 76 pages of summer internships of all majors: arts, business, communication, education, government, mental health, law, science, social science. But having this information means nothing if you don't position yourself to apply. Prime example of this going bad, of positioning going bad, is during my time at Rowan, I was a great student, but I had a bad semester and my GPA took a hit. I have no idea what I was doing this semester. I don't know, it was a very rough time. My memory serves me, what was I doing? Just not paying attention, focused on the wrong thing. Man, you know what? It doesn't matter. It just so happens that Dr. Olivia Williams, a previous EOS director, wanted to recommend me for a scholarship that semester, but she couldn't do it because my GPA did not meet the minimum requirement. I lost out on money and an amazing opportunity because I placed myself out of position. And I don't want that to happen to any one of you. So starting today, you have the duty, responsibility, and privilege to decide what the next 4 years are going to look like. I know exactly how it feels to have this duty placed on you, because in the summer of 2001, I was you. Let me tell you about PCI 2001. We were housed in Mimosa, and back in 2001, Mimosa did not have air conditioning. It was a dorm, it wasn't a dorm, it was more like a localized ecosystem of pure, unadulterated humidity. It was unforgiving, it was just a spiritual testing ground. You couldn't just have one fan, you had to have that dual fan strategy, where you had one fan blowing hot air out, and another fan strategically blowing slightly less hot air in. You lay on your mattress that night, sweating, staring at the ceiling, fighting a battle in your own head. But let me tell you something about the college grind. People are rarely your enemy. Most times, your enemy is your thoughts. Sitting in that heat, the voice in my head kept on saying, "You aren't smart enough for this. You're just a kid from Longville. You can't compete here." My imposter syndrome was heavy. You have to learn to manage that inner dialogue, because our lives moves in the direction of our strongest thoughts. If your strongest thoughts are rooted in doubt, fear, lack, your life will drift right into failure. But if your strongest thoughts are rooted in execution and resilience, your life will start to move towards victory. So when those intrusive thoughts cross your mind, this is what you must do. Remember, you have control over your mind. Your mind does not control you. You tell your mind what to do. You can tell it where to go, and again, you can tell it what to do. So visualize this. Those negative thoughts cross your mind. Tell your mind to enter the kitchen inside your head. Tell your mind to open a cabinet and get the largest cup with a lid that it can find. Tell your mind to go to the sink, turn on the faucet, and fill up the cup until it is full. Now tell your mind to take that lid and shut the full cup. Tell your mind to shut the full cup. When you have negative thoughts, tell your mind to shut the full cup. Shut the full cup. Shut the full cup. Some of y'all got to work right away. Yeah. You have a choice. Again, tell your mind. Whenever those negative thoughts cross your mind, tell it to shut the full cup.
Shut the full cup.
See? Shut the full cup. All right? And if the heat wasn't enough during PCI, I will never forget day one. Dr. Alumni stood before us, looked us dead in the eye, and stripped away all of our comfort. She said, "None of you have been accepted to Rowan University. The only way to get into this program, to get into this school, is to finish and complete this program." I was frozen. I was shooketh. I looked over at my parents. Let me tell you, the daggers flying out of their eyes was piercing my soul. That look said, "You better not play around with this opportunity." So that was my wake-up call. I started my freshman year as a biological science major. There was a cohort of about 10 of us coming into PCI, all saying that we want to go into healthcare. We want to be doctors. We wanted to be nurses too. By graduation, I was the only one left standing with a biology degree. Everyone else changed their major, and that's okay. Because they realized that the path that they were on was not their path. You will have people look you in the eye and promise they will be there to cross the finish line with you, and then vanish the moment the pressure is turned up. But remember, everyone is on their own journey, and you must respect their journey. And then came spring semester of my junior year. I was living in Edgewood Apartments. By junior year, you would think you got it all figured out. You know, you're involved, you're giving tours on campus as an ambassador, you got a good routine for studying. You've been to a conference or two, and yes, that is Mr. LeGurr. You run for homecoming king and lose. Like you throw, a party in your apartment or two or four, but you think you've survived basically the worst of it. Came back from winter break, walked up to the door of my apartment, unlocked it, stepped in, and was confused. Half the room was completely empty, completely bare. Our roommate's clothes, gone. His computer, gone. Posters, stripped off the wall. There was nothing left but an empty dresser and a bare mattress. He never came back. He never gave us a heads up. He just quit. And standing in the echo of that empty room, I realized 4 truths that every single one of you in this ballroom needs to understand today. Number 1, give people grace. Because everyone is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. 2, the herd will get thinned. Look to your left, now look to your right. You might be tight with your PCI cohort, your suite mates, the friends you made 5 minutes ago in the student center. But the reality of college is that not everyone who starts the race with you is going to cross the finish line with you. Some people will run out of money. Some will run out of academic discipline. Some will realize they can't handle the distance from being home. And some will simply look at the work required to build the future that they would like and say, yeah, nah, I'm good. But here's the kicker. They won't always announce it. There won't be a dramatic sit-down talk. There won't be a tearful goodbye. Sometimes people will just slip away in the night, and you'll be left standing in an empty room looking at their mattress. 3, your dreams cannot have a cosigner. When my roommate packed up his bags and vanished, do you know what Rowan University did? They didn't pause any of my classes. My professor didn't say, oh, your roommate quit? You know what? Take a couple weeks off and take some time off to grieve their departure. Tuition was still due. Exams were still being scheduled. You have to learn right now that your dream cannot depend on someone else's drive. If your study buddy decides they want to sleep in and skip class, you still have to put your shoes on and get to class. When the weather is perfect, and I mean perfect, and you see your people chilling on the student center patio saying, and I quote, "It's too nice outside to go to class." True story. You better take yourself to class. If your best friend decides that they want to spend their weekend partying instead of going to the library when an exam is coming up, you have to be strong enough to say, I love you, but I'm building something for myself right now. And go sit by yourself. If your roommate decides to pack up and quit, the blueprint must remain unshaken. You cannot co-sign a degree. When you walk across that stage in 4 years, 5 years, 4.5, however long it takes, they are going to call your name. They are going to hand the diploma in your hands. 4, own the space you stand in. If you tie your motivation to the presence of other people, your success will be just as unstable as they are. When you are the architect of your life, you don't build a house on the foundation of someone else's quicksand. Unshackle your mind. Ditch the victim mentality. Own all aspects of your life completely. If you find yourself standing alone in a half-empty room because everyone around you decided to take the easy way out, don't look down and don't look back. Look at that empty space. Realize you have more room to stretch out and build, and keep moving forward. You are the architect, the contractor, and the demolition team of your own life. No one is coming to build it for you. Stop blaming your professor. Stop blaming your background. Stop blaming the heat in your room. Own your study habits. Own your failures. And own your execution. Know who you are, because if you don't, then other people, the environment, or a circumstance will tell you. And you are not defined by the best nor the worst thing that you've done or what has happened to you. Someone in this room needs to hear that again. You are not defined by the best nor the worst thing that you've done or what has happened to you. You are defined by what you choose to build and do next. So coming around in 2001, I realized I have to draw the blueprints of my life. So let me tell you this secret about being an architect of your life. Sometimes you draw up a beautiful blueprint. You pour the concrete, and a storm hits that you never saw coming. And when the blueprint fails, you have to know how to pivot. When you are chasing your dreams, and you have absolutely no idea how it's going to turn out. It could turn out 10 times better than you ever expected. On the other hand, The opposite might be true as well. It could turn out 10 times worse. Still, you have to be faithful for the journey and exactly where you stand. Do not allow a setback to shatter your focus or detours to dictate our mindset. Instead, be ready to adjust, recalibrate, and stay after it to become better somehow. So, the third person got the envelope that had nothing in it. Come back up here. Give her back. Come on up. So remind us again, what was in your envelope?
Nothing.
Okay. Your envelope had a surprise to it. All right. Your envelope was the gift of failure and the art of the pivot. So, I have a new envelope for you. Open that.
$50.
Congratulations. That's yours, all right? That's yours. I saw how y'all looked at her in the beginning when this speech just started. They said, oh, the first person got money. The second person got money. Oh, she ain't getting nothing. Oh, man, so sorry for her. But sometimes that's how life is. In life, there is no gift as overlooked or inevitable as failure. Let me repeat that. Failure is an absolute certainty. It is the tax you pay for attempting greatness. But failure is a stepping stone to future success. I realize that in every failure, there is something to be gained, even if only practice for the next test you'll have to take, because there is a next test, guaranteed. Take my cousin, for example. Her entire life, all she talked about was being a pediatric nurse. She wanted to work with kids. Loved kids, wanted to work with kids, wanted to work with kids. She talked about it constantly. She went to nursing school, crushed her classes, and finally got into a rotation for pediatrics. She walked into that hospital ward with the babies and the kids, and she absolutely hated it. Imagine your entire life saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to be. Then you experience it, and you hate it. It broke her heart. It stressed her out, and she realized, I cannot do this. Her lifelong blueprint was shattered, ripped to shreds, and almost gone. But she didn't quit. She pivoted. She adjusted. She found a new true calling in a different specialty, and I'm glad to announce that she is thriving as a nurse practitioner now. And look at me. After my summer internship in 2005, I knew my blueprint was medical school. I was going to be an MD or a DO. But let me tell you about a little standardized test called the MCAT. The MCAT straight up ate my soul, not once, not twice, 3 times. It took part of my soul, chewed it up, spit it out, kidnapped it, trafficked it, and it's still missing to this day. So I adjusted my blueprint. I said, okay, I'll go to physician assistant school. I applied to 9 schools, 9 different PA schools. This is me after graduating with my master's. 9. And do you know what those 9 schools did? Every single one of them looked at my application and sent me a skinny letter in the mail, with the first line being, thank you for your interest, but we regret to inform you, ... 9 rejections. I was beaten down. I was frustrated. I was looking at my blueprint and wondering why nothing was working. But I looked at my rejection and remembered, in every failure, a lot of good things will have to happen, and we must acknowledge them. I learned how to study better. I learned how to handle stress. I learned how badly I wanted to be in medicine. So Rowan students, you are going to fail an exam. You are going to get rejected. Not get the internship, not get the job, and maybe not even get the major. When it happens, don't pack up your bags and go home. Treat it as practice as the next test, because life is going to keep testing you until you pass. I kept my eyes open for opportunities, pivoted, and with some help, discovered the field of cardiovascular perfusion. It's kind of like the envelope winners from this morning. They ran to the stage, seeing the goal, but had no idea how it was going to turn out in the end. They ran down that aisle with their eyes set on the prize, but the chaos of the moment made me force them to pivot. And they walked back to their seat with something in their pocket. Let me ask you a question. Do you think they're mad that they have that money in their pocket right now? Absolutely not. I bet most people in this ballroom wished they would have went for the envelopes this morning. Whatever prize you hold in your hand at the end of the day, be thankful for it. Be thankful for the detour, because your detour just might lead to your destiny. Whatever blessing, degree, opportunity, or position you find yourself in, be grateful for it. Because I'm sure there was a file on a computer in admissions with the names of people who were sent a skinny letter who wish they were sitting exactly where all of you are sitting right now. So, I pivoted. I graduated from Rowan. I went on to get my master's in environmental science and in perfusion school. And today, I have a career that sounds like a Hollywood script. So, let me see something. Clap your hands if you know what a doctor is. Okay? Clap your hands if you know what a nurse is. Clap your hands if you know what a perfusist is. Yeah. When people ask me what I do for a living, I like to look them right in the eye and say, honestly, I kill people for a living. Well, technically, it's true. Because in the realm of cardiac surgery, in order for the surgeon to do his or her job effectively, in most cases, the heart has to be completely still. It cannot be beating. So, I stop it. Technically, when your heart stops, you're dead. As a cardiovascular perfusionist, I operate the heart-lung machine. I electrochemically arrest the heart. And I basically take control over your heart and lungs with my machine. I maintain blood flow throughout the rest of your body, pull out the bad blood, put in the good blood, give oxygen in your blood, and maintain your proper blood flow throughout your body, using your vital organs while the surgeon operates on a stopped heart. So let me tell you, I've been doing this for over a decade now. And no matter how many times I do this, when I look at an EKG monitor and watch a living human being's heart go from a normal rhythm to a flat line, and you know that you caused it, it is nerve-wracking. But you cannot freeze. You cannot let fear dictate your future. If I let fear control my hands in the operating room, a patient doesn't make it off the table. A while back, I was in an OR, getting supplies to splice an auctioneer on their right ventricular assist device. High stakes. Suddenly, a pager goes off. Patient coding, need ECMO, now. ECMO is basically emergency life support. I sprint into the ICU. When I get there, when I get into the patient's room, it's an absolute madhouse. Doctors, pacing, alarms, screaming, nurses, running. The primary attending surgeon was not even in the hospital and wasn't going to make it in on time. The patient was basically actively dying. The surgical fellow in the room needed to put this patient on ECMO right then and right now, but he couldn't do it alone, and the ICU nurses didn't know how. The only other person in the entire chaotic part in that room with their technical expertise and clinical knowledge and the credentials to step up was me. So I shrugged it. Heart pounding, pressure suffocating. But I knew the ticket to victory is to do your best, even when you feel your very worst. When the world is collapsing around you, when you are exhausted, when you are overwhelmed, that is exactly when your leadership has to shine. The tension in that room was so thick, you could cut it with a scalpel. Everyone was sweating, the fellow and I, barking out orders. Trying to stabilize this life wasting hanging on by a thread. Looked at the floor nurse. We asked for surgical hand for the tubing. The nurse moved as fast as they could, grabbed the pair and says, "Here, take the big ones. The small ones don't work as well." Without skipping a beat, in total precision, I looked up and said, "That's what she said." The entire room started laughing. Doctors laughed, nurses laughed, the fellow cracked a smile. So in one split of a second, the suffocating tension in that room broke. Everyone took a breath, the panic vanished. Clear things returned, we connected the patient lines, got the patient on ECMO, and the patient lived. So why do I tell that story? Because I was in the right position. My good friend and PCI bro, Charles Ozuna, once said something so profound that I have to share it with you right now. He said, "I may not be the best, but I am in the top 3. And in that high-stress life or death situation, I just so happen to be one of the top 3 people available to handle that crisis. And because I had done the work ahead of time, I could handle the pressure with enough grace to bring just a little bit of light in that dark room." You might think, "Well, Steve, that's great for you, but and you're saving lives, but I'm just trying to survive my 8 a.m. class." Listen to me carefully. Do not treat your degree chase lightly. In my line of work, I treat every single patient like a VIP. Why? Because there is a terrified family member sitting in the waiting room, and that person is their VIP. So I check my equipment, run through my safety checklist. I keep my eyes and my ears open at all times. And if I see that I'm going to get into a situation where an extra pair of hands are needed, I ask for help early. Because there is a massive difference, massive life or death difference between getting this message and getting this message. So students, make your own daily checklist. Don't treat your days lightly. Treat every class with the respect and the attention that it deserves. Keep your eyes and ears open for opportunities that surround you. If you're taking the class and you feel even the smallest ounce of apprehension or confusion, don't be afraid to ask for help early and often. If you mess up in a class, you fail. If I mess up in a class, people die. Take your business seriously. Now, outside the hospital, I have another life. I'm an entrepreneur. I built an apparel brand called the Father Collection, and I have a social media presence of over 300,000 followers. There's a powerful quote that says, "The most brilliant, wealthy, and revolutionary ideas in the world are buried in the graveyard." Why? Because people have world-changing ideas every single day, but only a fraction of them have the courage to execute them. They sit and they visualize success. They make vision boards. They write their goals down. But let me drop some truth on you. Visualization will never compensate for work undone. You can manifest all you want, but if you don't put your boots on the ground and get to work, your ideas are going to end up dead and buried, right along with everyone else's. As a proud girl dad of 4 beautiful daughters, yes, I'm girl dad times 4, which means my house is non-stop, high stakes, sibling rivalries, robust demanding, organized chaos, hair clips everywhere, dolls here. It's just a lot. I wanted to make something that represented modern fatherhood. I went to the stores and all I saw was best dad ever, best dad ever, best dad ever. Corny, cheesy, best dad ever. I thought I could make something better. Something real. I had an idea, but instead of letting it die in the graveyard of what ifs, I executed. When I started posting content on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, I used to watch these massive creators with millions of views and think, man, how do they do that? Then I remembered, there is no shortage of success in this world. So why not me? And why not you? So I kept on just being myself, kept on posting. And today, I'm at 3,000 followers and counting. But let me give you a reality check again. You wanna know what my most viral videos are? Me standing in the operating room telling terrible medical dad jokes. But one of them has over 18 million views. 18 million and counting. And I know what some people might say. In your generation, there's a word you love to use for everything that looks goofy or vulnerable, and you call it cringe. Oh, that's so cringe. Why is he doing that? Let me break down a secret for you about the word cringe. Cringe is a relative term. Most of the time when someone labels an action as cringe, it's simply because they wouldn't dream of having the guts to do it themselves because they are afraid to step out of their comfort zone. To some, waking up at 6 a.m. to hit the gym to try and stave off the freshman 15 is cringe. To others, sitting in the front row of a lecture, raising your hand and asking questions is cringe. To them, spending your Friday nights rewriting your notes and making flashcards so you can crush an exam is cringe. But to the go-getter, to the leader, to the ascending student, that isn't cringe. That is the blueprint of a champion. Do not let lazy people joke you out of your work ethic. Step out of your comfort zone and embrace the grind. If being successful, disciplined, and relentless looks cringe to the crowd watching from the back row, give them a front row show. But the thing is, the problem with today is that our culture has become so hooked on this quick fix, the life hack, efficiency. Everyone is on the hunt for that simple action that nets them the maximum profit with the least amount of effort. If you're lucky, that'll work, but it won't lead to self-mastery. There is no life hack for a degree. There is no quick fix for a low GPA. There is no shortcut to become a leader on campus. If you want lasting success, get addicted to hard work because passion, obsession, and talent are only as useful tools if you have the work ethic to back them all up. As I land this plane and come to a close, you know what? What's y'all theme? You ready? 1, 2, 3.
DCI 2026, from dreams to degrees and power to achieve.
Okay. Ladies, 1, 2, 3.
DCI 2026, from dreams to degrees and power to achieve.
Gentlemen, 1, 2, 3.
DCI 2026, from dreams to degrees and power to achieve.
Okay, altos, ready for some. The theme of this conference is PCI 2026, from dreams to degrees, empowered to achieve. Every single degree that has ever meant anything in human history has started as a dream. But as you stand on the precipice of this academic year, I need to ask you a fundamentally important question. Whose dream are you building? Is it your parents' dream? Is it your family's expectation? Is it what your friends think is cool? Or is it your dream? You have to understand a deep psychological truth about life. You don't see life the way life is. You see life the way you are. If you are living a life trying to please everyone else, you will see every academic hurdle as an unfair punishment rather than a necessary challenge. Your family can be your fuel. Your parents' sacrifices can be your motivation. But at the end of the day, when you are staring at that exam, when you are choosing your career path, you cannot build a life for someone else. Remember, you are the architect. You cannot draw blueprints of your life using someone else's ruler. It has to be yours. Look around this room right now. Look at the people sitting next to you. These are your future co-founders, your future doctors, your future engineers, your future educators, your future leaders, your future content creators, your future perfusionists. Opportunities are going to be surrounding you on this campus every single day. There will be research grants, internship offers, study abroad programs, and leadership positions. When these opportunities arise, what are you going to do? Did you position yourself accordingly? Are you going to sit in the back row, freeze, look around for permission, and wonder what happened? Or are you going to sit in the front rows, keep your eyes wide open, act with urgency, change your positioning, and make things happen? Rowan University changed my life. This program changed my life. It was literally the only school that accepted me. 25 years ago, this school took a sweating, nervous kid from Willingboro and selected him for PCI 2001 and gave him the foundation to hold human lives in his hands, to build businesses, and to stand before you today. The blueprint is in your hands. The tools are in this room. The front row is waiting for you. Be the architect of your own destiny. Don't just dream it, execute it. Go get your degrees and show the world what you are empowered to achieve. And again, on behalf of PCI 2001 and myself, you're welcome. So thank you, Rowan.
Let's give it up one more time. Remember, we have to act like he's Obama or anything. Let's give it up one more time. Thank you again. That was a phenomenal speech. If anything, I hope that you guys took away the power of positioning yourself. Positioning yourself for amazing opportunities that you rightfully do deserve, but you need to be in position to receive and accept it.